I hope you're all here for the ride with me. So this is a stream, a deleted stream between VanillaMace, QTCinderella, and KDB, where in the actual stream, they discuss deleting this VOD so that way it couldn't be taken out of context, quote unquote. Most likely, in my personal opinion, the whole reason why it is that they decided to turn around and delete it is because it didn't pander to the correct audience, and it, very obviously didn't, considering QTCinderella got eaten alive for it, and VanillaMace got eaten alive for it. VanillaMace came out and started talking about how she was, basically awkwardly held against her will during this conversation, and backstabbed QTCinderella. So we're gonna get right into this. You're gonna hear a lot of BS, and that's just, it is what it is when you have people who pander to a certain specific crowd. And when you pander to a crowd and you stop pandering to them, or you have a middle of the road take, they turn around and they'll eat you alive, because you know what? You're not going ahead and you're not feeding into their delicate delusions, as I would say.
Watch me long enough, you know who I am and what I represent, so shut the fuck up. You're not here to be my mother. My mother died, so I don't need another one. We're good.
Literally, like, I was gonna say exactly to that part, but I actually can't relate to that. So
okay, well,
but
it drives me crazy when I see like audience.
So over here, this is QTCinderella, this is VanillaMace, this is KDB. These are the two who end up having issues later in the future, where QTCinderella is basically going to talk about how she chooses to not stop being friends with people or interacting with people who might not be trans friendly or who could potentially be racist. VanillaMace, throughout this whole 30 minutes, completely agrees with her, and then after a couple of days seeing the audience eat her alive, decides to turn her back on QTCinderella and pretend like she was a hostage during this this live stream.
Audience is babying streamers, and like what you're saying, set a boundary, you're banned. Shut the fuck up. You
no, literally.
You don't even watch literally.
That's crazy. How are you going to be like, oh, well, you know what? If a commenter turns around and says, oh, you should set a boundary while you're complaining about something, you're going to turn around and be like, you're banned. Don't tell me what to do. That's childish as all hell. Now, I can understand banning somebody due to the fact that they're, not, that they're being annoying or that they're saying something in chat, but come on.
This person that posted the other day on Twitter, and they're like, I've been following Cutie for so long. This is such a disappointment from her. And I said, no, you haven't.
Yeah. No, you haven't, because you wouldn't, because if you did, then you would have
fucking, nothing to me. You also can't read my tone at all, which is insane.
Especially if you've been watching me for this long. Like,
you can't read my tone? When I say,
But viewers are always going to do that. Viewers, like, the moment you stop pandering or the moment you stop feeding into a viewer's specific viewpoint, they're going to turn around and say stuff like that. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that you've changed or something. And sometimes, you know what? Viewers are correct. People do change, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you take a look at some of the biggest streamers now, or the biggest influencers now. They, when they were smaller, they acted a certain way. They did certain things, and a lot of the time people just can't handle the fact that they're not the same person anymore. And personally, I think that's kind of lame.
That sounds incredible. You don't come on.
Like, you don't think that's like, yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Literally, bro.
Instead, I'm a horrible person. No, you don't. Goodbye.
Yeah. That kills me too. No, legit. I'm like, and that's legit. That's what I've been having that conversation too with my chat a little bit. I'm like, if y'all have actually been sitting here watching, then you who I am, what I stand for, whatever the fuck. But then it's just you see one thing, and then people are just like, what? Oh my God. I hate her. I fucking hate her. I can't believe that she would do this to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
TikTok videos probably.
Yeah, the whole time that they've legit only ever watched me on TikTok. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay.
Dude, this is what's so funny, is even this person right here. Cutie blocked me on Twitter for saying take when she was talking about Asmongold and Aiden Ross are saying that they are running a streamer awards. That is what they're saying. They're doing it regardless of what I say. Just so everybody knows, they are doing it regardless. Yeah. And I have.
Well, I mean, yeah. What does it matter though? Like, if I don't want to have a problem with that, but it's the simple fact that she's sitting there saying, oh, well, they're going to do it regardless of what I say. So does that mean that they shouldn't do it simply because you might have an issue with it, or you might be upset with them for doing it? I don't want to take that in. I don't want that to be the read that I have for this, but the way she's saying it, that's kind of how it sounds.
Hundreds of thousands of people telling me that my show is going to suck and their show is going to overtake it. I feel fine saying, Good luck.
Like that's all
me
you could
saying,
like, and
good
that's
It's funny that she said this a couple of weeks ago, but then, you know, a couple days later, or a couple of days ago, she's here crying on stream about the criticism that she's getting for the streamer award nominations and the clips that's being used.
and
I'm not gonna,
like,
I'm not
okay,
gonna,
like-
I'm not gonna get on my knees and be like, guys, please leave me alone. I'm not gonna do
I mean, yeah, you kind of did. In so many words, you were over here crying over the amount of quote unquote harassment that you were getting because you used a clip of some dude, of some streamer with his ex-girlfriend instead of his current girlfriend.
do that. The bullying people are gonna bully. I'm just gonna say good luck, and then everyone is like, oh, she's supporting them. No, I'm fucking not. I'm saying good luck.
Like,
Well, you
like
definitely-
literally, like
You definitely should have just said good luck rather than breaking down in tears online, talking about how difficult your freaking life is as a goddamn streamer.
bro,
Fuck
good luck.
up. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, people are so fucking stupid. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. No, legit, it drives me nuts. That's the one thing too, like, about this industry that I feel like is so much more like emotionally fucking draining than like quite literally working at the club, and that was a very emotionally draining job. But this is like in a different way because it's like I fall for the fucking rage bait every time. Like I literally am like, ah, like I literally am like, oh my god, how stupid! Can somebody help me? Like it gets me every time.
Okay, but you're the dumb one though. If you're falling for the rage bait, that doesn't make them dumb. That makes you dumb. Like what? It's only as emotionally draining as you allow it to be. The moment you stop caring, the moment you don't give a damn about what people say about you or the criticisms that people have about you, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't care about criticism. What I am saying is that if you're going to turn around and get upset over somebody having criticisms for you, then, you know, I get it. Don't get me wrong. It's annoying to hear people criticize you, especially if their criticisms are unwarranted, but you have the ability to just turn it off. You don't have to actually be, you know, you don't have to actually engage.
Unfortunately, because I'm just like, bro, people are just that's the problem. People are way too comfortable on the fucking internet. Like it's so fucking weird. Like it's not even like that's what kills me too, is that if people will be mad at me about something that is completely unrelated, and then they'll make it into something else, and then they'll be like, oh, and like someone commented something on something like they were like, oh girl, you're eating, and then someone else like replied who obviously is like mad about something fucking else or whatever, just doesn't like me, and she was like, well, she should be eating a salad too. I'm just like, girl, I'm like, why are we turning it into something that like I'm just like, girl, like what the fuck are we even like, it's just shit like that, and I'm like, y'all are too comfortable on this fucking internet, like simply y'all.
Well, yeah, I'll agree to that, considering the fact that, I mean, it's the internet. Anonymity makes everybody want to turn around and be, you know, as bad as they want to be. It allows people to anonymity is probably one of the absolute worst things that has ever happened, because it makes people want completely feel justified and vindicated in saying whatever it is that they want to say to somebody, because they don't fear any repercussions.
Y'all are just too comfortable.
This is my perfect example. It's like, okay, I collab with Lacey. Lacey makes some homophobic jokes sometimes that I am not comfortable with the homophobic jokes Lacey has made. Lacey knows that he can't make those jokes around me. That does not mean that I am homophobic. Believe it or not, everybody.
Yes.
I'll agree with that.
Like,
yeah,
you are not who you associate with. Like, shut the fuck up. You're like, you don't build bridges by burning them. That's not how it works.
But you also have to take into consideration that you are, however, judged by the company you keep. Like, that's just the bottom line. You're always going to be judged by the company that you keep. So if you're hanging out with a bunch of like skinheads, people are going to, you know, turn around and be like, do I really like, yes, I see that you're saying that you're not a skinhead, but at the same freaking time, how are you going to sit there and hang out with these types of people?
Like, you don't invite people to open their mind and be more open-minded by being like, fuck you.
I agree with that.
That's the thing too. And then I feel like sometimes too, it's like, okay, if somebody like says something or has like a take that people don't agree with or like get shit on or whatever, then it's just like, okay, like, and then that person were to be like, oh, I'm sorry, like I apologize for that, and I'm going to like change and do better or whatever, then that's still not enough for people. Like as long as it's not something that's like the worst ever, like, you know what I mean? Like as long as it's not something that's like a quite literal, like fucking like actually like cancelable thing, I feel like people will be like then the person will like be like, you know, actually like I apologize and I understand where you guys are coming from, whatever. And then sometimes people will still be like mad about whatever, like XYZ.
People are going to get mad over anything and everything. It has absolutely nothing to do. Like if a lot of the time people think that just because they're upset that they're correct. And that's just not the truth. That's not how the way the world works. I mean, it's definitely how a lot of people want it to work. But just because you're upset, just because you're mad doesn't mean that you're correct.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Why do you hang out with someone? So they did this 10 years ago. Okay, well, they've apologized.
It's hard being an influencer.
So
yeah. It's hard being an influencer, bro. Come on. Let's not. Oh shit. Let's not do this.
It's just miserable.
Am I still blurry on y'all's screen?
Yeah, very blurry.
You're
Okay.
just nothing.
Well, my game downloaded, so I don't know why.
Okay.
But W mini podcast, they're saying. All of you.
Oh, let's
like
skip ahead.
Katie just gets, it's like too much.
I'm being sarcastic, so. Wow.
Weird.
Awful, bro.
Oh man, I don't know.
I'm down to find a ghost.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let me look at Swift one more time. What?
She said, "Who do you think wins in a Cutie Katie boxing match?" And I said, "Katie."
Ooh, Katie.
Yeah. Okay.
You Swift is sitting.
We played a little while ago. Got people.
All right, let's find.
Why?
Come on.
Are bigoted.
Here we go.
No. So this is what I'm going to describe. Okay, and you guys can believe what you can believe.
I know. Like I want,
Okay?
like explain it. I want you to like explain it better.
I'm going to explain it. You guys can believe what you want to believe. I understand, but you're not allowed to coach me and say like that's not right. That's not what you like. Just because I don't act the same way you act, you're not allowed to like coach me through that. Because at the end of the day, I am somebody that's like, bitch, I'm an ally. Like
And I know
I'm
where
not
I'm at.
homophobic.
Yeah,
Everybody knows
I know
I'm
where
not
I'm
homophobic.
at.
It doesn't matter who I talk to. Like the thing is like I was raised in a very religious family. Unfortunately, there are people in my family that are racist. There are people in my family that are bigoted. There are people in my family that are homophobic. There's people in my family that are transphobic. Like, but I still love
like normal everyday people. Like, yeah, I'm not going to say that it's normal to be racist or anything of that nature. But what I will say is the fact that it happens. And I do think, though, however, that a lot of the time people will turn around and they will confuse like racism with ignorance, right? Because if you were to say like, if you were to turn around and just simply say like all black people steal or all Mexicans are dirty, that's racist. That's very racist. But if somebody was to say, I just don't trust I don't really trust black people because I've just had very bad experiences with black people or Mexican people or Chinese people, that's ignorance, right? You're taking the entirety of a race and you're putting onto them your bad, your bad experiences, that at least that's the way I look at it. Yes, there's going to be racist people and you're going to interact with them every single day because, there's not a whole lot that you can really do about it, especially if they work with you or something of that nature. And it's all about what you choose to do in life.
Love my family, right? And I still know that there are that members of my family have good qualities. They have good qualities. And what's most important to get people to love other people is to love them. Fighting hate with hate will never get anything anywhere. If I were to say,
I mean, that's not true. I mean, we've had plenty of wars to prove otherwise. During World War I and World War II, we weren't like shooting them with flowers or anything like that. We were having a good time. We weren't just kumbayaing over there. We were dropping bombs. She is lying, Dana Timms. I guess it depends on what you're saying she's lying about.
Say to someone who's homophobic, go fuck yourself, you homophobic prick. Yes, I told them what they deserve. However, they aren't ever going to feel accepting. They're never going to learn how to be accepting.
Okay, but here's the thing. A lot of the time, people who are racists don't want to be accepting. That's like their whole thing. I don't know if you know that, but their whole thing is to be exclusive. Like they're trying to exclude a certain race away from people. I don't know why you think that they're wanting to learn how to be inclusive. There was a group called Nazis that hated us. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like you can't just turn around and treat everybody with love. Not everyone deserves love. I'm gonna be honest with you. There isn't everybody. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Like, do you understand that if you just write people off because they believe different things than you, they're never going to be exposed to why it's good to be around people that don't think like you, right?
But there are some people that you do not give that like sympathy or empathy to. There's some people that you just cannot give that level of understanding to, because if somebody turns around and they're like, okay, I want to kill every American, it's like, okay, all right, well, why is it? And it's like, oh, because of these reasons. So if you turn around and you are kind to this person, you talk to them, you're trying to explain like why they shouldn't feel that way, and they're like, all right, that's cool, I still want to kill every American, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hug them while they pull out a gun and start trying to shoot you, like, or like trying to kill you? No, you can't just sit there and hug box your way out of everything. This isn't like this isn't a Disney movie where all you have to do is give them a hug and it'll warm their heart to the error of their ways. There are some people in this world that you just got to put down because they are not, you know, they're terrible human beings. We had to fight their hate with our own. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Like, you can't just sit there and say like, oh, you can never fight hate with hate. I mean, you can fight it with a bullet, and America's done it plenty of times in our, you know, existence.
No,
Like,
I see that.
So my stepbrother is trans, and my dad refuses to use the correct pronouns.
And does right.
And he doesn't understand that he doesn't understand why it's so important, right? And it drives me crazy.
Or he just doesn't agree with it. Maybe it's not necessarily that he doesn't understand. Hey, what's up, Neon Treon? Maybe it's not necessarily that he doesn't understand why it's important to say the right pronouns. It just could simply be the fact that he just doesn't agree with it. Like, I don't know. This is one of the things that I absolutely hate about like these progressive people is you're taking somebody like, for me, instance, right? I am 29 years old. So for 29 years, I have been calling women women and men men. So when I see somebody who is physically and physically and as a sexual, you know, connotation, a male, I'm not just going to turn around and immediately tell, like, my brain isn't just going to immediately click over to female. Now, I have a specific rule when it comes to how, like, when it comes to these, what do you call, pronouns. If you're a normal ass, you know, human being, regular ass trans person who isn't going to be all up in my face, who isn't going to go psychotic on me just because I might misgender you at some point in time, I will do my best to turn around and give you the respect that you deserve. But if you're one of those people who's like, oh, my suffering as a trans person, I'm trans this, trans that, transity, I'm going to lose respect for you. I'm not going to have that willpower to want to call you by whatever fucking pronoun you decide to have. It's, in my personal opinion, everything is earned, right? And it's the same thing of people being like, oh, well, we dead named the mass shooter, you know, how can we do that? How can we dead name a mass, you know, this person? Respect their pronouns. My response is, fuck you. Fuck you mean respect their pronouns. They didn't respect the lives of the children that they killed, so why the fuck should I respect their pronouns? If anything, you as a trans community should be disavowing this person, because you don't, like, this person is going to be a perfectly used example against the trans community, and they'll be able to just look at you know, trans people and be like, well, see, you guys, this is a mental health issue, you guys are doing this to our children. That's why I think that way. You know, I'm not going to turn around and be like, oh my God, I'm so happy to call this serial killer by their desired pronouns after they just went out and killed like 15 children. Fuck all of that. Some people just need to hug lava. I agree with you, Neon. They need to get off the cross. We need the wood for winter. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I hate all of these moral flagging people, these moral arbiter wannabe people, these people who will test how morally correct you are because they're choosing a side, the left side, and they want to have that backing. But the problem here is because when you build a foundation based off of such extreme ideology such as this, when you have a middle of the road take like QTCinderella does here, you get eaten alive by your audience, and you only have yourself to blame. I'm going to be completely honest with you. There's nobody else that you can really blame for it.
And it drives my stepbrother crazy, of course. But I've had to say to my dad, you know, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you to say the correct pronouns, but but it does hurt him when you say the wrong ones.
Right. Right.
And you know what the difference is I'm able to have this conversation with my dad because I'm open-minded and we love each other. My stepbrother just says fuck off and won't talk to my dad. So there's no progress.
Okay, but see, yeah, and I agree with you, but you should also be I'm not going to say hating, but you should be saying this against, see, this is the reason, right? This is the reason why so many people, in my opinion, and from what I've seen, this is why a lot of her community hated her for this, because she's calling out the community themselves and saying like, hey, you can't just write off people who are potentially bigoted or who are people that, you know, aren't willing to say the proper pronoun for you. Because if you do that, then you close the door to them ever understanding anything. And the problem with that is that when you have these insane, woke-minded, virus-brained people, they're like, no, 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 our feelings matter more than anything else. So we want to go ahead and just be able to tell them, no, you can't be, we're not going to accept you, but you have to accept us. That's my issue with all of this. That's why I dislike this whole that's why I dislike the whole trans debate type of stuff, man. It gets annoying as hell. And if you're not going to come to the table, sit down and talk to somebody about like your issues or something, nothing's ever going to be solved. Sure. Now, on the other hand, you can't force somebody to just be okay with you being trans. Like, there's no way. Just like you can't force anybody, or just like they can't force you to be okay with them not liking trans people. People have the ability to like what they don't like and have the ability to like what they do like. That's just that's the bottom line.
Being made, right? And so you can believe what you want. You guys can you can say that. You can say to me, no, you're supporting it. I'm not. I don't support that my father is transphobic at times. I don't support that. I don't support it. Period. The end. But I still love my dad and I'll go to coffee with him tomorrow. But I don't support that. The world is not as black as white as everyone thinks. Like you guys, you can't fight hate with hate. It doesn't get you anywhere. It literally does not get you anywhere. Like,
yeah, I already spoke on that. You can definitely fight hate with hate.
Important to like, as someone who's very open-minded, to be around closed-minded people and show them that it's okay to be open-minded is actually one of the most important things you can do, like as a human. It really is. But I get it. You guys can think what you think. I'm not going to change though. I'm not going to, I will never believe that if I'm kind to a hateful person, that means I agree with them. I will never believe that. No matter what you guys say, I won't believe it because
no, it definitely doesn't mean that you are a hateful person, but it does mean that you're tolerant of hateful people. And there's nothing wrong with that. You could absolutely be tolerant of people that are hateful. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, you don't have to turn around and hate somebody just because they're also hateful. That doesn't make any sense in my personal opinion. Now, depending on that person's rhetoric and depending on what that person does or is willing to do, yeah, you should have certain boundaries when it comes to that. But it sounds like as of this moment in time, all her dad has really done to be labeled as a hateful person is to simply not like call her brother a man rather than, you know, so I'm assuming that it's a trans man. So I wouldn't really call that hateful. I would just simply say that he doesn't agree with it. And that's that.
At the end of the day, if I'm around a racist person, I'm just not racist. I'm not. Me, I am not. They are, yes. But how am I supposed to help them ever? By cutting them off? No. Like, I get it. You guys can think in black and white, but that's not how it works over here. That's not how it works for me. But sorry for the
I feel like it's no, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's like, again, it's like.
And take note of VanillaMace like, sitting there and saying, no, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry for what you're saying. Being in agreement with the things it is that QTCinderella is saying right now.
Dang, like, it is like a fucking hard thing. Cause again, like there's definitely people in my family as well that like are fucking like pretty Trumpy and like in my extended family and shit. And I grew up around a lot of that.
I mean, you don't have to be a Trump supporter to be racist, although I will say it's a pretty good indication of what somebody's beliefs are when it comes to trans people.
Who were just hearing remarks and them saying things about just like, you know, people that were not fucking just white, straight people. And me kind of being like, what the fuck? Like, you know, like quite literally what the fuck? And like, it's almost like a thing where it's like, again, and this is like not really like my direct family. So it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, I don't really see them like that anyway. So it's like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like blow up the dinner table right now, like type
Yeah,
shit. It's just
exactly.
like, it's like when I feel like when it comes to like real life, like obviously if it's somebody, if I found out that like somebody who is like a really fucking good friend of mine, whatever, like, I mean, that's also the thing too. I'm like, people that are really good friends of mine that I keep close to me, I already know where their head's at. Like, I feel like I already know where their head's at, like when it comes to like people that, so I'm like, that's not really something I had to worry about anyway. But I feel like what kills me the most is I feel like the people in chat will be getting so mad, and I'm like, y'all be acting like some of y'all family members, brothers, sister, like other people that you have.
I would debate that. I support trans right, yet voted for Trump. Yeah, see, and that's what I'm saying though, right? I'm not saying that just because you voted for Trump that means that you support or that you hate trans people, and I'm not saying that just because that you voted for Biden that you support trans people. But what I am saying is that generally you have the ability to take to think to yourself, well, if this person voted for Trump, then they probably they align, their ideals align with that, with the incoming inauguration. I'm not going to sit there and say that just because you voted for Trump, that means that you hate trans people. Of course not. But I will say is that it should give you it most likely will give you an indication of where their beliefs are at. Now, that doesn't mean that you have the right to just turn around and be like, oh, you supported Trump, so you obviously hate trans people. What you should do is be like, okay, well, you voted for Trump or you voted for Biden. What is it like about their policies that you agree and disagree with? And you should be able to have an open forum conversation and talk about this stuff. But that's the problem with all of these like politics and this wokeism stuff, is that a lot of the time, and even conservatives too, conservatives too, is that people will turn around and just simply be, okay, well, I'm right, you're left, we disagree on everything, you're a bad person, and they choose to not engage in any sort of sensible conversation. There are so many things that, well, hold on. There are so many things that you can hate with. My favorite is anything that sounds like the J Dams. Yeah, you can fight hate with so many different things. Understanding, there's just so many different ways to combat hate with.
Have like fucking boyfriends, your boyfriend's friends, like will make like. This is what kills me, is that these same people will be in a room with their fucking like loser ass boyfriend, and then their boyfriend's brothers or fucking like friends or something will make a gay joke or something, and you'll sit there like this. You'll sit there like that, and then as soon as someone online isn't like literally like standing like screaming at the roof of their fucking like, and then everyone's like, oh god, they're the worst. They're the worst. They're the worst.
I also think a lot of people are misinterpreting a little bit about like what I'm.
Okay, but a joke. Okay, hold on. Here's the thing. This is the other thing that I hate about the like woke people or just people in general. Just because you find a joke to be like offensive doesn't actually mean that it's offensive. You just don't like the joke, and there's nothing wrong with you not liking the joke, but there is something wrong with you trying to attribute somebody making a joke to them being a racist or homophobic or transphobic. Again, I don't really think that there is anyone in this world who's transphobic, because again, because phobic means phobia, which means to have a fear of, which means that somebody has to be afraid of trans people, and I don't think there's anybody who's actually afraid of trans people. Jokes aside, I am an advocate for knowledge combating hate. Yeah, 100%, man. So am I. And sometimes the knowledge you need to combat hate is the ability to create, a nice nuke. Sometimes that's what's necessary. That's the type of knowledge you need.
I'm saying too. I don't judge my stepbrother for not talking to my
no, not at all.
dad. My stepbrother is allowed to do
valid.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He is so allowed to be pissed at my dad, and clearly, like, my dad is very hurtful when he uses the wrong pronouns. It makes me sad, right? It makes me very, very sad, and that's totally fine. That's his boundary. However, I simply believe that I can coach people into love, and I know that's fucking insane of me to say, but I do think I can.
Well, you shouldn't say that you could coach them into love. What you should say is that you could talk to them to hopefully have them see the other side. Because if you're just coaching somebody to love somebody else, then they don't actually love that person. They don't actually care about that person. They've just been coerced into doing so. Like, that's the issue there. I agree with everything that she's saying currently. I mean, it didn't have to take this long to say it. She literally could have just said, well, look, if you never have the conversation, then you'll never see eye to eye. You'll never have an understanding. And the problem that most people have here is the fact that because you know, people don't want to take into consideration the fact that you just might never see eye to eye with somebody. And people don't want to hear that, especially when it comes to how ingrained their politics or their beliefs are. A lot of the time, people just want to be told that, no, your feelings are hurt, so you're correct. And that's just not how life works. I don't actually, because I don't know what her father actually said. What it is just simply that her father went ahead and doesn't call, as far as she's been saying here, her father doesn't say like the proper pronouns for her brother. That's literally what it is.
Can get my dad to
At least that's what she has revealed so far.
not be transphobic eventually. I believe that.
Which is also not transphobic. Just because you refuse to use the proper pronoun does not make you transphobic. Again, the trans shooter who went ahead and killed a bunch of kids, did a school shooting, me saying him instead of her or her instead of him is not me being transphobic. It's me not seeing that person as a human. And in my personal opinion, if you go around shooting innocent children, you're not a human being. That's just me. I'm just going to be honest with you. My problem is people can say things behind people's backs and they never know because they don't have a platform. Yeah. I agree 100% with you. But I'm just going off of what she has provided as far as context goes. That's what I'm doing. So I'm not saying that, you know, he didn't say something or he hasn't said something else. I'm just going off of the context that she provided.
And it's happened. Like, there are so many stories of people out there being like quite literally being like, oh, I quite literally was fucking racist, or I was homophobic, or I was XYZ, whatever, transphobic. And then they literally are like, and then I met someone who either was one of these or something like that. And then like you see these people, and then I feel like people, like I'll see videos of shit like that, and then people be like, wow, people can change. That's so amazing. And then it's like, but it took other people around them to make that change. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it
cutting
took
people off, like fighting people is like, it just separates people more. Like if you say, you're so stupid, why do you believe in that? Compared to saying, why do you believe in that? And genuinely having a conversation about it. Like, I understand
quite literally why. Like, let's talk about
that's hard.
it.
I really understand. I understand that it's hard and it's not for everybody. I really understand, but you can't hold.
So VanillaMace is just sitting here once again agreeing with her, which is insane, because how are you going to turn around and agree with somebody on something that's so very obviously like the right take to have, but simply because she was getting hate, you want to backstab her? And we'll see her backstabbing QT here in a bit.
Everyone to your same moral high ground and just assume that because I am not doing what you would do. My stepbrother does not think I am transphobic because I talk to my dad. My stepbrother doesn't think that. So why do people on the internet think that? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because people on the internet believe that their voice is better than everybody else's. Again, this is a facts over feelings situation. People want to turn around and be like, my feelings are hurt. This is what I believe. Everybody has to believe the exact same thing as me. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with actually like thinking. It has nothing to do with transphobia. It has nothing to do with any of that. All it is just somebody's feelings are hurt. They're upset. They feel like they're in the right. If you deny a conversation from happening, then that's just the bottom line. That's what's going to happen. People love an echo chamber. They absolutely love an echo chamber, and that's that's how they stay safe.
Like if I talk to so-and-so who's transphobic, all of a sudden on the internet, I am transphobic. Even if I would to say, oh, I've watched that streamer before. You watch a transphobic streamer, you freak. You're transphobic. I'm not. And
the worst part about it, though, is that there's the word transphobic or homophobic or any phobic anything has been overused so much that just simply saying that you disagree with like that you believe there's only two genders, then that automatically makes you a transphobe, which isn't true. I just don't understand. Like if I sit here and I say, you know, I only believe that there's two genders, but I totally believe trans people should have every single rights as everybody else, then it's the simple fact that I don't believe that there's more than two genders is what people would label me as transphobic when it's not the case. And again, so it boils down to this. You either completely agree with us or you're against us. That's what a lot of these politics are. You either completely agree with everything that we say or everything that we agree with or everything that we want, or you're not an ally. When an ally simply means is that, you'd have a better ally in somebody who says, I disagree with these things, but you have every right to exist. Because people act entitled to their opinions being worth more than lives. Yeah, a lot of the time people will think that they're way more important than they actually are. And I'm not exactly sure where it is that they get this from, but it's the internet emboldens people, right? Because it's not them, it's not their name, it's not their reputation on the line because of anonymity, right? Because they have a screen name rather than it being their actual name.
Not.
Yeah.
You guys, you simply cannot tell me what I am. You can't. And
Yeah.
you haven't watched me long enough if you think you can, because like I know what I am, and I'm also very open to opinions, but I'm not open to bullying of any kind. Even if that's high roading, I'm not open to that. It's not helpful. Like it's never been helpful.
Yeah.
It's like telling someone they suck because they're racist, and these are on so different terms. Like, racist people telling someone they suck because of skin color is obviously worse, but like all we're doing is telling people they suck. Why are we like, come on, gotta figure this out.
And that's the thing too. It literally like I'm the first person to like be like, what the fuck? Like, so to like sit back and like think about it from that different perspective, like quite literally is making me think too, because I am like the first person I feel like to get like, what the fuck, and like just get up in arms over some shit. And like, granted, if anything, that would just make that person like fucking hate people like me more. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. But so then why did you change your stance? Why did you change your stance, VanillaMace? And of all people, for anyone to like be taking advice from VanillaMace, of all people, like, come on, she literally, she commits sexual assault on the daily and she wants to try and take some moral high roading type of deal. I just don't understand this. It's just, to me, honestly, this whole, oh, you're either completely against or completely with us or you're against us type of stuff is annoying as hell. And it ruins politics. It ruins communities. It ruins so much for most people.
Because they almost like look for that sometimes,
I have the privilege. I need to use it, right? I'm a straight white woman. It'd be fucking insane if I didn't use the privilege that I have to help people navigate their bigotry.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Like, that is this. Yes, you don't have to do that if you are someone that's being viscerally attacked, right? But me, who I am and where I stand, I do feel responsible to try to help people. That's what I feel like I do. That's my privilege.
The white savior stuff is annoying as hell. But see, I hate this too, because this whole like white privilege, this whole white savior complex type of deal, it annoys the hell out of me, because this person is literally saying, because I'm white, I have a duty to speak up. I have a duty to say something. I have a duty to fight for these people. When it's like, do you really though? Like, everybody should have the desire to want to bring about, something good for every single person. It shouldn't just simply be the fact that, this is, holy fuck. It shouldn't simply be because you're white that you have a desire to speak out. Like, that shouldn't be it at all.
You know what?
Wow.
That's our yap for the day. Sorry.
I'm like, well,
guys, way to go. That was good for me, guys. Sorry, I was just sitting
Katie,
back
what do you think?
Bro,
Katie just sitting back. Sorry, Katie.
No, you guys are good. Like, I didn't want to cut anybody off. Like, you guys had a lot of good things to say. I was just sitting here, like, literally reading, like, the thoughts and opinions in my chat. You guys.
I mean, there's someone in the chat right now even just saying, like, first step to being a Karen, like, that, stupid stuff like that. And it's like, okay, guys, it's just not helpful. It's not helpful for anybody. It's never helpful.
Yeah.
Like,
how am I the first person to like this stream? Hey, what's up, sunshine?
this is not helpful. Okay, but you talk to them, and they're horrible.
See, that's the other thing too. It doesn't, just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean that just because you disagree with somebody's lifestyle doesn't make you a horrible person, right? For instance, okay, you can disagree with somebody's hatred, or somebody could be hateful or spiteful or something. That doesn't make you the bad person just because you continue to interact with them. Now, it depends on what it is that they actually do, right? I used to work with somebody who was very racist towards black people. That doesn't make me a racist whatsoever. Did I agree with the person's opinions and politics or any of that nature? No, of course not. But I didn't really have, if I wanted to work there, I didn't really have a choice. Now, somebody could potentially turn around and say is, oh, well, you chose to work there. And it's like, yes, I did choose to work there. Do you not know how many people, like how many companies work or utilize some sort of like slavery or something of that nature, or child labor or something, most companies outsource their jobs to other poorer countries for certain things, especially in the technical field too. So it's just this moral frogging, this moral high road BS that I absolutely hate with every fiber of my being, because nobody's ever going to be clean on this. No one's ever going to have nobody's ever going to be like the all-encompassing amazing human being, right?
Did you not hear anything I said?
And now she's getting tore up. Now she's getting tore up by her community of people, because this is just what happens when you pander to somebody, man. This is what happens when you pander to a specific crowd. The moment you stop pandering to them, they're going to eat you alive, man.
I'm trans, and it really does rub me the wrong way, though, especially with streamers who clearly aren't willing to stop jokes. Yeah, I think jokes suck. I've never said I like jokes. That's the funny thing. I've never said that I like these jokes. I've never said that. That's never come out of my mouth. Like, it's just so silly. So silly.
Is your game still downloading? Because you're still 1 pixel.
I don't know why I'm still
How are
1
you...
pixel. Like, that's what everyone's saying too. But it's downloaded and I'm in.
Sorry, was that too hot? Was I being too
It wasn't a hot take. What it was is reality, and a lot of these people don't live in reality, so they get upset over it.
It was a little warm. We definitely got a little warm there.
Sorry. I just feel
And it's pathetic too that she doesn't even recognize the reason why her viewers have an issue with it is due to the fact that she is so curtailed by them. She's so she's held captured. She's audience captured. So she has to have a certain point. She has to believe a certain thing. She has to do this. She has to do that. And that's the lamest thing about all of this. And I absolutely hate this. And it's why I'll never be audience captured. You might disagree with me. You might think that I'm wrong and all of this stuff. Totally okay. Totally acceptable. I'll never have an issue with that. But don't sit there and try and freaking moral police me or moral frog on me because of this. I'm never going to curtail myself to somebody else's beliefs simply because their feelings got hurt. That's never going to happen. People live in a fantasy reality. Yeah, exactly, Sunshine. People love to be ignorant to the reality of the world around them. It has nothing to do with what's real. It has everything to do with how they feel. That's always how it's going to be with certain, with certain people. And a lot of the time it is people who are extreme left or extreme right. And it's just pathetic, in my personal opinion. Absolutely and utterly pathetic. It's like, think about it like this, right? The same people who are extreme left or extreme right will make fun of people who are like diehard for football teams. Like they're one and the same, and they don't even recognize it, which makes me laugh.
like you gotta build a bridge. That's what I think. I think someone like me. I'm not saying you guys.
No, I'm
listening and I'm
here.
To build a bridge. It might not be safe for people in chat to build a bridge. But like I'm just trying to get people to be more open-minded. That's what I would like to do.
That's all you're trying to do. Simply.
I would like people not to be racist. I would like people not to be transphobic. I would like people not to be homophobic. I would like
And these labels, though, these labels are so dumb. I hate this so much. What it is like these people are turning around and being like, well, yeah, you're transphobic, you're homophobic, you're this, you're that. And it's like, simply because you decide that you just disagree with somebody's lifestyle that makes you transphobic or that makes you homophobic or that makes you any of this. And again, can we please also remember that saying like phobic is derived from phobia, which means to be scared of. And I don't think I've never in my entire life met somebody who was afraid of someone that was trans or was afraid of a gay person or a lesbian person. I have never met somebody who, when they saw a trans person, they started to tear up or get scared or scream or freak out. Like this over labeling of people who just simply disagree with you is completely asinine and lame. But this is what happens when you're completely audience captured by the woke mind virus or by the conservative mind virus. The extremism on either side is just completely laughable and stupid.
like a lot of things. And I simply try by loving people. And I know that's naive sometimes, but
Right.
And here we have VanillaMace just completely agreeing with her again. But as soon as it turns up, as soon as it, you know, turns around and people start hating on her, she flips tune real quick.
Right,
Right. I'm sorry.
Right. No,
Do all your chats hate me now?
No, I'm getting a little. Well, I'm an emo only right now.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. All right. If you have to be an emo only because you can't handle the backlash, I think it might be time for you to get off the internet. That's pathetic as all hell. The idea is that with the phobia, you hate the thing irrationally. So the logic is that if you're not necessarily afraid of trans people, you're most than likely. But okay, but phobia directly means to be scared of. Well, not directly, right? But to have a phobia of something means that you are scared of it, right? A phobia of water, arachnophobia, a phobia of holes, a phobia of clowns, a phobia of that. It means to be scared of it. There are people who hate spiders, but they are not scared of it. You wouldn't be, you know, label them as arachnophobic, or you wouldn't say they have arachnophobia, right? It would be the fact that they hate spiders or that they hate clowns. Phobia is an irrational fear of a thing, of an object or situation. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's not necessary. So these people don't have a phobia of trans people. They just simply either don't agree with them or they hate them. Now, one is, in my opinion, okay, obviously, and one is not. If you don't like that lifestyle, you shouldn't be forced into accepting it.
Well, my mom put it in emo only. But it's a little mixed reviews. Some people are understanding, some people are not. But that's like quite literally like anything. Like anyone can kind of just like have. This is a conversation that you could go back and forth all day about. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things.
It's literally not a conversation that you can go back and forth with. It's the simple I'm sorry. Yes, people will have differencing of opinions on it and everything. I agree, but it's incredibly clear cut. Like, yes, if you do not speak to somebody who disagrees with your opinion, you will never find common ground, or you will at least never have attempted to find common ground. That's just the bottom line. It's just simply facts.
You're still allowing them to act racist? I'm not. That's not when they're.
And that's the thing too. That's what I hate too. People are like, well, you're allowing them to act racist. Well, you don't control people. I don't control what somebody thinks. I don't control what somebody believes. How am I allowing them to act racist? Like, what? So I have to go out and murder people who disagree with me because otherwise I'm allowing them to be racist? No, that's not at all. Like, that's not how this works. They're going to have their opinions and they're going to exercise their opinion. That's just the bottom line.
You guys don't get it. If someone is actively around me, no, they are not doing those things. And that's why it's good to be around people that are loving and able to say, hey, that makes me uncomfortable. That makes me uncomfortable. I'm talking about people in my life, right? Like, I'm not talking about, you guys fucking think everyone on the internet is friends. I'm like, we're not.
Yeah, also that too. I feel like a lot of people think that just because like you've like met one person or something that it's like, oh my god, she's like, I'm like, girl, I don't know that fucking man. Oh hell no, like just like random shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well.
Dang.
Oh well.
Hey. Let's go.
Well, now what?
Let's go ghost hunting if y'all want, or.
Let's go freaking ghost hunting. Chat,
Yeah,
clean all the
let's run
chats.
around.
Sorry,
Yeah.
we know it's a very. It's a very hateful world right now.
Yeah, it's hard not to get rage baited these days too.
I know, and I feel like this is gonna get clipped crazily out of context as well.
I know, that's what I'm nervous about.
You
People are
already
gonna be
know
like,
that'd be
naive.
So you're nervous about the optics, but you're not like, see, this is the other thing that I absolutely hate. Like, stand 10 toes on what you say. Don't just be afraid of freaking optics because you're scared that people are going to hate on you. If anything, you should want more people to see what it is that you say. If you truly believe what it is that you're saying, then you should want more people. You should engage with that. Well, I'm not going to say engage with the hate, but you should be more willing for people to see what you have to say. Otherwise, you're fake. You're just performative. You're not in my opinion, you're not an actual freaking ally, right? Because you're afraid of getting, pushback for what you believe in. What's crazy is like, I don't remember Martin Luther King turning around and being like, guys, this is all great while talking to the Black Panther Party. But you know what we shouldn't do? We should probably not go march on Selma because it might be taken out of context. It might be taken out of context, guys. We gotta be careful about that. Like, this is so dumb, and I am like, this is why the woke mind virus will never succeed in any form of real politics, because these people are scared of getting pushback. They're scared of having their ideology put out and display for everybody. The same thing with extreme conservatives as well. I'm not saying people should be forced into liking something. I'm just stating the logic. No, I get what you're saying, Dims. I get what you're saying. Or allowing people to have their own thoughts in chat. Yeah, exactly. Like, how in the world are you turning around and making your chat emo only while discussing a topic that is very controversial? You're silencing your own chat from having an opinion. Like, does that not, like, I don't know.
Crazy comments.
Should we edit the VOD?
Blonde girl.
Should we edit the VODs?
Should we all just unlist the VOD? I guess Katie can.
And now here they are talking about, oh, we got to get rid of the VOD, guys. We got to get rid of the VOD. Oh, yeah, we got to unlist it. We got to delete it. We got to make sure nobody ever sees it whatsoever. Because if they see it, you know, then we'll be held accountable for what it is that we said. You're trying to add logic to somebody who has no logic. I don't think it's worth wasting the brain power to do so. Yeah, I get you. I get you.
And restarted stream.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I can't listen.
Oh my God, she stopped it and restarted the stream because of the because she was scared of the optics of it. Again, this is how you know these people are not allies. They're just performers. That's it. They don't actually care. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here telling you that I'm an ally to the LGBTQ plus IA 24/17 community either. I really don't give a rat's ass about the Rainbow Mafia and the dawn of all people. I really do not care. But I'm also not so much of a bitch to turn around and like private what it is that I say, or private what it is that, you know, my opinions are, or delete my VODs or any of that nature, because I stand on what I believe. I stand on the things that I say. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, guys, yeah, this might be a controversial take, so I'm going to just go ahead and delete it so that way nobody can use it against me in the future. That's not what's going to happen ever.
Oh,
we could just cut this part, because I just don't. I am not in the mental headspace to be dealing.
I will say the only time that I will actually like delete something is if I got it wrong, like egregiously wrong. Outside of that, I don't really see a reason for it. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, if I'm very misled, then yeah, I might delete something.
Right now, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
I'm quite literally.
I'm going to delete my VOD.
Well, now I'm going to expose you. Sounds good.
Okay, perfect.
I'm just going to delete it because it's not like we did anything important today either.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
I got you.
We didn't even
Oh, the
make
cope's already starting.
We couldn't even make a YouTube video.
Guys, we can go off emo only right now, please. I wanna
Okay.
see words. Okay.
I'm going to delete.
Oh wait, this looks better.
What?
The update, like the phasmophobia, looks good.
Oh, does it? Okay, you might want to delete clips too, just so you know.
Okay, I think my
That's
the only one that
pathetic.
clips.
Absolutely
Okay.
pathetic.
And you deleted your VOD?
It doesn't post automatically.
And it's crazy too, because if nobody had turned around, right? If nobody had clipped this, it would all be word of mouth. It would all be word of mouth that they had this conversation and that they talked about this. There would be no evidence of it. And it's absolutely insane to me that these people who claim to be allies, who claim that they care about the plights of trans people, would turn around and be like, oh my God, guys, we have to delete this because some people might see it as controversial. Like, seriously? So then you're not an ally. Like, it's just that simple.
Automatically.
You can still pull it unlisted.
Somebody in my chat asked me not to delete the VOD if that's okay with you guys.
Oh.
You could edit it.
No, I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
deleting the VOD. What do I gotta
pathetic.
do though? I gotta delete. Like, the
Pathetic.
clips too? Is that what you guys are doing?
You just yeah.
Okay.
You just go to
I'll
video
do
producer?
whatever you want.
Ah.
No, I know how to delete clips. I do. I'm just asking.
You go to channel,
Yeah.
or you go to creator dashboard, and then you go to content,
Pathetic,
and then video
dude.
producer, and then
Absolutely
you click the
pathetic.
3 dots, and then you just push delete.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Tim's, considering VanillaMace, the girl on the left, has sexually assaulted multiple people. I don't know if you want to take the title of more controversial from her.
Cutie, don't delete, you'll lose context. I already deleted it. It's fine.
Well-
listen, if people on the internet want to believe what they want to believe, they can. Like, I can't.
But you're the one who's stopping them from being able to believe anything else by deleting this. That's the problem here. you're literally taking away the context that you're going to cry about later. So do you not understand that? Like, I don't know, like, why is this a thing for you? You're sitting here being like, oh, well, people are going to believe whatever they want to believe. Well, it's not they're going to believe whatever they want to believe. They're going to believe whatever is accessible to them, whatever is available to them. And currently, considering you deleted your own VOD, if nothing else is there except for freaking clips that people have taken, considerably out of context, yes, due to the fact that there's no longer a VOD for it, it's your fault. It's literally nobody else's fault but your own. You're deleting the evidence that would help you. I don't understand. Like, this, again, you're a freaking moron. I just have no idea. Wait, VanillaMace did what? Yeah, VanillaMace, her along with some other chick held this dude down and was dancing on top of him in a very sexual manner after he was like trying to get away from him. And I think he was like, I don't know if he was in his 20s or not, but he was telling them that he didn't want them on top of him and everything. And so they pinned him down and started like grinding on him and shit. And she ended up getting like a day. That's two different women. Is it? Is it? Thought that was Nina. Oh, that's Nina Lynn. Yes. Okay. You're right. You got me. You got me. You got me on that one. Yep. I'm wrong on that one. That's Nina Lynn. Got me on that one. You know what? There's so many different streamers who get caught in so many different things. They all start blending together. But you know what? I will take that L. That was Nina Lynn. That was Nina Lynn. Yeah, exposed. You know what? At least I corrected the record. I agreed. I got it. That's an L on my part. I screwed up. Tell me they don't look alike a little bit, though. So many of them, exactly, Law Assassin. So freaking many of them. Like, there's too many to keep count. Boy, do I have egg on my face.
Can't change what people think,
Yeah.
I don't think deleting the VOD will look good, Queen. It's to protect ourselves. Listen, there's been too many hate threads in the past 2 days. I don't care how it looks. I care about how I feel, and I care about how my friends feel. So shut the fuck up about that one. Thanks.
I just need I just need.
Okay, yeah.
I just can't do it anymore.
Vanilla needs some peace.
I know it's crazy on the internet.
And VanillaMace is over here saying that she has no ability, like she's not in the mental health space to be able to deal with hate comments. I mean, what do I think about that? I'll give it. Yeah, I can. I hate when people do that as like I'm having a mental health day, but you know what? I will give it to you. Yeah. I'll give it to you. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and say that she should deal with like hate speech and hate people. But at the same time, I disagree with it because she's sitting here agreeing with QTCinderella, knowing it's a controversial take, and her like, so that's like my issue. That's my issue. She's sitting here agreeing, and the moment somebody brings up, oh, you know what, we might get backlash, she's like, cut the VOD, fuck it, we're not going live, take it all out, get rid of it, nobody, nope, don't let them see.
Actually, like, it's terrible out there.
Okay, my VOD's deleted. Is your VOD deleted?
Mine is.
I think so.
Seriously?
I don't have the brain power to play the friggin' Ghost Hunter game anymore.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Did I ruin the vibes?
I just don't. No.
I honestly, I'm only gonna stay on for one anyways. I feel like it doesn't make sense anyways. Like now all the chats are probably distracted too, which.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, that's my fault. I think your guys' chats aren't used to my takes, and I said them too loud.
Don't freaking worry about it.
And here we have her turning around and being like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good. No worries. Everything's okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. La, la, la. And no, I'm seeing some good comments. I'm seeing some very good comments. So
it's okay. Even if you're mad, it's okay. I understand that makes people mad.
Yes, and she understands that. She understands that. Yeah. And a lot of weird shit just going on in the world.
Are they still so obvious that it doesn't matter if they delete their VODs at this point? Yeah, exactly, bro. Luckless. That's what I'm saying. How do they not, like, they've been on the internet for way too long. How do they not understand that it doesn't matter if you delete your VODs or not? Like, somebody's going to have it. Somebody's going to have it. Like, the moment they started talking about this, somebody was already, like, was ready to go and probably was hitting, record on the OBS. I don't understand why it is. And the simple fact that they actually did it, like they did it live, it just goes to show you that they're all performative people. Then you have other people who are still going to back them up and be like, oh, it's okay. They're totally fine. They didn't do anything wrong. It's like, these girls are all performative. If they're not performative, then they wouldn't be so worried about what it looks like. They wouldn't be so worried about the opinions of other people. I don't know. It's just crazy. But they're going to continue to have a backing because people love to get lied to. People love it. It's easier to dupe somebody than it is to convince somebody that they've been duped. And the reason for it is this. People are willing to be taken as a fool, but they are not willing to admit they were taken as a fool. Because if you have to admit that you were taken as a fool, that's embarrassing. And people don't like being embarrassed, and people don't like admitting that they were a fool. It doesn't matter for how small of a thing it is either, right? It's easier to admit it to yourself than it is to outwardly admit it or to silently walk away from something. So that's why, it's kind of like, they found Ethan's inactive 15-year-old troll account. Yeah, exactly, Lost Acid. Like, there's nothing is ever hidden, and then you could scrub and scrub and scrub. The bottom line is, if you have anything out there, you tackle it one of two ways, in my opinion. A, I did that, I no longer am like that, believe what you want to believe. Or B, you don't say anything. You just never address it. Just never address it. Never talk about it. Never anything. Like, who cares? Like, it is what it is. You know, people are going to choose no matter what. And even if you come out, right, and give a full-fledged explanation showing that you're not that person anymore, that showing all these instances in which you've apologized and changed and everything, there's still going to be those people who are like, nah, I've been waiting on this moment. I've been irrationally hating you, but now I have a reason to hate you, and I'm not going to let it go. You know what I'm saying? There are some people who just want the right to hate you. They want that piece of evidence. It doesn't matter how long ago it happened. They just needed it to justify their hatred for you.
The world and everything lately, it's overwhelming sometimes.
So what you're saying is I should not delete the OnlyFans feet pics that I stole from a friend of mine? No, you should just keep it. Just keep it and be like, yeah, I love me some toesies.
You know, it's just overwhelming. And sometimes we just need a little love.
That's what I think. there's just too many horrible people.
Yeah, but y'all are some of the horrible people. That's the thing.
Nuts.
Hey, it was fun playing that game with you guys.
I know. So much. I'm sorry that you're still 1 pixel, Katie. I can't even see your face.
Yeah, you've been
that's
broken.
The thing too. Like, was 1 pixel for a minute there. So.
You know what, guys? This was fun. And you know what? Maybe we needed this. Maybe we just needed a late night talk after our dinners.
Yeah, I think so.
W podcast.
Yeah, this is very podcast of us.
And now here they are going around in circles being like, ladies, we did a good job. We really did good. We were great, weren't we? We were just talking about, the plights of trans people. We're so good. Let's break our arms, patting ourselves on the back after we just deleted all of our talking points. Come on, man. Oh my God. We investigated ourselves and found we did not do anything wrong. Thank you. Like, this is what I'm freaking talking about, man. This is why I hate streamers so much. Like that, like these types of people, they will forever be performative. It's never gonna matter whatsoever. You must be a special breed of person to be able to maintain so many fake relationships, dude. Yes, that's the thing. Like, it's seriously crazy how all of these people can sit there and pretend to be friends together, pretend to back each other up, pretend to like each other. But the moment a tiny bit of pushback gets back, they're like, ooh, that's not going to look good. Better put out a PR statement. Better disavow that person. Better be like, I always hated that person. I always disliked them. It's so BS, man. I hate it so much. And it's one of the reasons why I say, and it's like, there are some people who are streamers on YouTube. There are people like, iVixie, Denatims, all these people that I'm cool with, that I've done some streams with, Epic Brady and stuff of that nature. We're cool. We're cool. We're great. We're cool and all that. But I'm not so cool with the people to not know that the human nature is to be opportunistic. And that's not me saying that any of these people I've met online would throw me under a bus for better views or for more subscribers. But I'm also not so dumb to think that it couldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not so dumb to think that it's not a possibility, because today, none of them are like that. And I'm not like that. But in 10 years at 20, 30, 40, 50,000 subs, who knows what could change between now and then? Yeah, I'm open-minded, but not so open-minded that my brain falls out. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the shout out. Of course, Denatims, of course. So what you're saying is, if you think I'm going to backstab you if I ever get backlash for being your friend? No, nothing like that. What I'm saying is that we could be friends, but there's nothing in the, I'm never going to think to myself that you or anybody else couldn't do something against me, because in my opinion, the moment you stop believing somebody could do something bad to you is the moment you give them the tools to do it, because you never see it coming. You see what I'm saying? Like, how many times have you don't want to believe certain things about? So I want to explain how I work real quick. I get you. The Ludwig mindset, we're cool, but I wouldn't go to their funerals. I don't know. There's some people I would definitely like to go to their funerals just to like start just yeah. Unless you do something to me that fucks me up or over, I will always go to bat for you. Yeah, exactly, Tim. That's exactly what I'm saying. And I'm the same way there, homie. I'm the same exact way. I'm just simply saying is that you can't say that something is an impossibility, right? And sometimes also, it's not necessarily that someone did something bad to you. It could also be the fact that you've perceived them to do something bad to you. And because of that perception, you retaliate without fully understanding what occurred, right? Think about it like this: the Bo Blacks and Lyrics situation. Bo Blacks believed that Lyrics was doing something wrong, and because of that belief and his autism and his psychosis and all that, decided to workshop the call between the two of them, put it out there, thinking he was in the right, and in actuality, he was in the wrong. Ironically, I respect Ludwig's take there, because at least he's open about it being transactional. Facts, Law Assassin, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think there's too many people online, too many creators who want to be friends with other creators, and that deludes their belief that this is a transactional relationship. You should not be so friendly with people online that you take that idea away. Right? It should be seen as transactional, because I don't know I don't know these other creators that I'm friends with from a fucking rock in the sand. You know what I'm saying? So once it gets past a transactional relationship and you're actually really good friends and multiple years have passed by and all that, do what you will. Personally, for me, until that happens, you get until that happens, it's we're cool, but we ain't the coolest of people. You know what I'm saying? I hate that logic because I'm a pretty open individual. Well, hey, you know what? It's totally okay, my man. It's totally okay. I respect what you believe. I expect your opinions and everything like that. I'm me, you.
Hey, well,
All right,
guys,
well.
it's 1 a.m. for me, so
You're out of here?
I am. But
All right. Love ya.
love you, boys.
All right. Goodbye,
Play
guys.
something soon.
All right, boys.
All right, boys.
Bye.
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 And Tim's, I get what you're saying, right? For the most part, I look for legitimate friendships because unfortunately, a lot of my real life friends are no longer amongst the living. Again, you have every right to look for legitimate friends online and everything of that nature. There's nothing wrong. That's your mindset. This is my mindset. And I respect your mindset. I'm never going to have a reason. I pray I never have a reason to not be your friend. And I pray you never have a reason to not be my friend. Until that happens, we homies. We cool. So they end up leaving. They deleted the VOD and everything. And I think it was like 24 to 48 hours later, VanillaMace comes out with this statement here, completely going against everything that she said on that live stream. So we're going to get into this and you're going to see just how easy it is to be a two-faced person.
Obviously, you know, this is just about everything that's been going on. Just this month as a whole, and especially.
And this is the exact reason why I would like keep people, especially YouTubers, whose income is determined by the amount of views that they get at arm's length at all times.
With Friday's stream, for those of you who don't know, actually, I don't know who the fuck doesn't know at this point because it's all over TikTok and everything, and it's been living in my brain rent-free ever since it happened. There was a stream that, you know, me, Cutie, and Katie, we were playing some games, and we somehow got on the top.
You guys didn't even play video games. What do you mean?
Think of just parasocial people, because Katie was talking about how her chat at this time of night always tells her, oh, you need to go to bed, you need to go to bed, you look so tired, you look so tired. And then the conversation kind of just like spun into something that it shouldn't have ever went to in the first place. It was just not a conversation that needed to happen on stream. And
this is the most BS thing ever. I hate this so much because it's like, oh, this conversation should not have happened. You engaged in the conversation. You literally could have said, oh my gosh, let's not have this conversation right now. And then guess what? The conversation wouldn't have occurred.
it was very like, it was just like an awkward, uncomfortable thing for everybody involved.
Was it really? Was it really though? Oh, did I delete it? I did delete it. It just isn't. Yes, she's lying her ass off, Tim. This is the reason why I'm saying it's difficult. It's absolutely difficult for people to turn around and want to be friends with somebody because it's so easy to backstab someone the moment you start getting into some conflict. How did Vanilla get away with this? The clip literally shows her agreeing with QT and saying she had a similar situation with her family. That's what, yes, Luckless, that's what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm saying, bro. Like, it makes no freaking sense. How does she get away with this? The entire 30 minutes of her being like, yeah, no, don't apologize. You're in the right. I totally understand with what you're saying. Agreeing with her. Like, it's just like, God, dude, it's performative. It's all performance. It's all it's the mentality of we are friends until you mess with my bottom line, then we are no longer friends.
And yeah, so that's basically like what happened. And if first and foremost, I would like to say that the idea of deleting the VOD was my idea, okay? And if you watch the full thing back, you will literally hear me say, can we just fucking delete this? Because I am not in the mental space right now to deal with just what I already know is going to come from this, because I already knew that this was gonna be a whole thing, obviously. So that was my idea. So I'm just gonna let that be known once and for all. Also, after the fact too, if you were here for the live, after that conversation was had and we all like, you know, went our separate ways, I started crying. I started crying, and it was not about necessarily what had happened, but, oh, I have a rogue eyelash, thank you. It was not about what had happened, but it was more so just like everything as a whole, and I was just getting emotional. Because there's just been a lot going on this month. There's been a lot going on this month, and you know, there were some things that were said that I did not necessarily agree with or think that.
So it was QT who said delete. Yeah. You know what? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's do this real quick. You're gonna take a nice little look at all of this. Here we go. I'm bringing this back. So if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Let's I'm pretty sure it was QT who said to delete. It was VanillaMace. It was VanillaMace who agreed with it. Let's see. VOD. Crazy yeah, here we go.
Should we edit the VOD?
Blonde girl.
Should we edit the VODs?
Should we all just unlist the VOD? I guess Katie can't, 'cause she has her show earlier.
I stopped it.
So VanillaMace says, should we edit the VOD? And then somebody else is going to turn around and say, delete. Completely quiet. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
Being
To be
completely
clipped.
honest,
Okay.
I'm quite literally
I'm
not
gonna
in the mental
delete my
headspace
VOD.
for that. Okay.
So QT says she's going to delete her VOD. VanillaMace says that should we edit the VODs?
Perfect.
I'm just gonna delete it because it's not like we did anything important today either.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
I got you.
Okay.
We didn't even make.
Thanks, guys.
We couldn't even make a YouTube video.
So I'll say it like this. She definitely didn't say we should delete the VOD, but she was in agreement with deleting it or editing it in some way, shape, or form, which, in my personal opinion, just as bad faith, not a real friend, not a real ally.
Could have been said better, probably. And the thing is, I know where Qt's heart is, and I know that she tries to have everybody in the community come together. And, you know, we have had conversations in.
I know where Qt's heart is. That's why I decided to stab it. That's why I decided to totally use it against her in this live stream right now.
Private about this, and that's not something that you guys need to like know about. But like, you know, I'm not going to go into detail on that. And I just don't want anyone to think that all I'm going to say is that there.
I don't want anyone to think that I agree with her after I just spent 30 minutes agreeing with her, because it seems as though none of you guys agree with her. So I need to let you guys know I don't agree with her now. That's what it is. It's literally what it is. Like, I don't want you guys to think that I agree with her after I spent 30 minutes agreeing with her, now that I know that you guys don't agree with her. This is what happens when you're audience captured.
It's like I'm trying to be like freaking PR right now. There are clips of me giving other people advice, literally saying, you are who you hang out with. And I've given people advice. People have been like, hey, my boyfriend, this XYZ, you know.
She has no eyebrows. Yeah, she's got eyebrows. They're just stenciled on.
Like, is hanging out with this guy and he fucking sucks or whatever. And I have literally said, hey, you are who you hang out with. And so for that take of, you know, you are not who you associate with was not necessarily something that I agreed with. And I don't want it to seem like I'm backpedaling on something, because I have quite literally said that in the past. I have stood on that and said, I personally think if you hang out with somebody who is, you know, XYZ, what does that have to say about your...
But this doesn't make... Hold on. But this argument, right? This argument is so dumb, because she's sitting here saying, you are who you hang out with. Okay. Now let's take this into racial context, right? How many people say that it's not okay for you to say the N-word just because you hang out with black people? But I thought you are who you hang out with. So if you are who you hang out with, does that not mean it's okay for a white person to say the N-word if he hangs out with black people or she hangs out with black people? I know that's incredibly stupid. I'm just trying to, I'm just like exposing the logic here. Just because you hang out with somebody doesn't mean you are like that person. It doesn't mean that you believe everything that they believe in. You can hang out with people and talk with people that you do not share the same ideology of. So this is why I hate this. It's people who are fans of these types of woke grifting performative ass streamers that just want to be, they just want to be lied to. They love to be lied to. Vanilla also hangs out with FaZe members even after calling them homophobic and stuff. Yeah, exactly, Luckless. No, Lamau. Yeah, Law Assassin. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like when somebody says you're right, but no. Yeah.
Your character kind of a thing. Although, I do think the clips were taken out of context a little bit. I do think
No, they were not taken out of context. In no way, shape, or form were they taken out of context. No. And you know whose fault it would be for them to be taken out of context? Y'all's fault. Because y'all were the ones who decided to try and delete the VODs. So if anyone is to be blamed for it being taken out of context, it's you guys. You deleted the context, or you tried to delete the context.
The clips were taken out of context. And now people are, and of course people are saying, oh, you were nodding your head and stuff and everything. It's hard when you're put in that position, because one, with all of our chats combined, there are over 10,000 people watching. And quite literally, when anyone is talking to me, I go like this. When anyone is talking to me about anything, that's just like, I'm just like, like that's just a conversational thing that happens with anyone that I fucking talk to.
Okay, well, let's take out you nodding your head as a response mechanism. You literally told her she didn't have to apologize. You literally told her that it's okay, that it wasn't controversial, that her takes were her takes. That's what she, like, this again, it's like, this is why they wanted to, this is the reason why they wanted to delete it, so they could just turn around and be like, guys, don't believe your eyes, believe what I'm telling you.
So that's just that. And I think if you watch the full thing, you could obviously feel the fucking tension. You could feel that.
Oh, we can feel the tension. We can feel the tension.
Like, do you understand that if you just write people off because they believe different things than you, they're never going to be exposed to why it's good to be around people that don't think like you, right?
No,
like,
I see that.
So my step.
This is tension. No, I see that. That's tension.
My step.
You guys are all hanging
my
out here
stepbrother
talking.
Is trans.
She's laughing, he or she or whatever. I have no idea, but she's laughing. She's totally fine with what's going on.
My dad.
Another random click.
Like, y'all be acting like some of y'all family members, brothers, sister, like other people that you have, like fucking boyfriends, your boyfriend's friends, like will make, like, this is what kills me, is that these same people will be in a room with their fucking, like, loser-ass boyfriend, and then their boyfriend's brothers or fucking, like, friends or something will make a gay joke or something, and you'll sit there like this. You'll sit there like that, and then as soon as someone...
He's literally defending QT's point here. There's no tension. There's no, oh my gosh, I'm being held captive by this conversation. Hey, Vanilla, can you give me access to your bank account? Or, she also simps for her son, who is arguably both a misogynist and a homophobic, so I don't know, seems very performative. Yeah, Law Assassin, 100%. It's incredibly performative. All of it's performative. It's all about, I will be your friend so long as you are optically good. So long as it's optically good to be your friend. Another person that fucking simps for that dumb, yeah, exactly, Tim.
A little awkward for everyone. And it's more of a thing where I know that I, as a white woman, have the privilege of being able to be in some spaces and be some places that I don't have to worry for my safety, and that I don't have to worry for, you know what I mean? So I could never sit here and try to tell people, like marginalized people, how they should feel about comments like that.
But that's what you do. But that's what you do. You guys are the freaking moral police. That's literally your entire, like, life. That's like your, well, not entire life, but that's like your whole thing online. I'm an ally. Believe what I say. As a white woman, I have the desire, or not the desire. I have every, it's my job to fight for these marginalized groups. I have to do it. Who else is gonna do it? Here comes the memorized talking points. Yes, exactly, Lugless. It's like these people just have a nice little chart that they have to go down, all the correct talking points, and it's annoying as hell.
And
it's all the same stuff every single time. Guys, I'm a white person. I don't have the right to talk to you about this stuff, or I don't have the right to be the moral arbiter of all of this, but allow me to be the moral arbiter of all of this. She legit just did that? Yeah, exactly, Law Assassin. How quickly they forget what they do the moment they want to, like, retextualize or recontextualize something. And I guarantee you the reason why is because they probably thought that it was only these, like, small clips that were saved. They probably thought that the VOD itself got completely lost.
Everyone is saying, are you guys listening to what I'm saying right now? Like, this chat is confusing the fuck out of me. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Like, genuinely. Are you listening with the fucking sound on or no? Like, what? I'm telling y'all that I understand why people are upset about that. I am telling you that I know and understand why that is a take that people are upset about. Okay? Because as somebody who has as a white person who recognizes that I have white privilege, that
Oh my God, the white privilege again. The white, also QT is the one with a family member who's trans, feels weird to virtue signal on her own family. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. See, here's the thing. It's just like what Hassan, like when Hassan was getting grilled by a trans member of his community for losing a trans debate and making trans people look bad, right? What did he say in return to that trans person? He said, "Shut up, you're just a trans person." It's performative. They don't actually care about these things. They don't actually care about the plights of these people. And I don't mean to say these people as in like they're, you know, different or they're not like regular, normal, everyday human beings, but they don't care about these situations. They don't care about what they're actually going through in life. They only care about it to the extent that it can, they only care about it to the extent that they can profit off of it. That's it. Outside of that, they don't really care whatsoever.
That there are certain people that can be in rooms and have comments like that be made, and it would affect them in ways that could affect them for the rest of their life, because it is a personal attack on them.
So then why didn't you see, this is like the same thing with the Cruel World Happy Mind stuff. Why didn't you say all of this when you were in the live stream with QTCinderella and that other chick who barely talked at all? Why didn't you say any of this? Why didn't you give any pushback whatsoever? Why didn't you say, hey, maybe we're not the right demographic to be talking about this? Maybe as non-trans people, non-people of color, all these other freaking buzzword things, should we not be talking about this? Like, Jesus Christ. How do you not know the point of a directional microphone at your mouth? Also said he hoped they had a miserable life. Yeah, exactly, Lugless. Said that I hope your life is as bad as it is right now for the rest of your life, or something to that degree. It's all performative. It has always been performative. It is just the simple fact of, okay, this looks good, so I'm going to close or blanket myself in this political belief because there is a large majority of people who believe the same thing as me.
You get what I'm saying? Marginalized groups of people cannot be in rooms where people are making these kinds of jokes and XYZ and whatever, and have it be something that
I hate this. I hate this so much. This little thing right here.
Be in rooms. Marginalized groups of people cannot be in rooms where people are making these kinds of jokes and XYZ and whatever, and have it be something that can be excused or written off because.
But who's excusing it? No, like QT didn't excuse it. She didn't turn around and go, yeah, my dad, you know, he's transphobic, but it's totally okay. That's not what she said. She said that he's transphobic, which I highly disagree with. And because of that, she continues to talk to him to try and get him to understand how her brother feels, and explain to him why it is important for him to use the correct pronouns. It has nothing to do with excusing his actions. It has everything to do with turning around and just trying to talk to him. And you know what? I agree with you, Law Assassin. Why not as well? Like, I'm not like, you don't have like being in the same room as somebody doesn't mean that you're excusing their actions. You can disagree with it, but something tells me, let's say like VanillaMace is a passenger in a person's car, right? And if that person turns around and is like, hey, VanillaMace, just FYI, I'm transphobic. You really think she's going to get out of the car and walk? You really think she's going to dive out of the car on principles? Fuck no. She's gonna stay in that car until she gets to where she needs to go, and then that's that. Like, it's not, these people are so performative, and I absolutely hate every single one of them. It's just annoying as all hell. And also, I hate when these people are like this. Oh, these marginalized groups of people, they shouldn't be in these spaces because they're delicate little hearts, they're delicate sensibilities. How will they ever survive being called, you know, a troon or something? How will they ever survive people not liking them? We have to protect them at all costs. Like, bro, that is so... Bleh.
It's something that could affect them for the rest of their lives, and it's stuff that they have to deal with constantly.
You think they don't know that? Like,
and also too, as a queer woman as well, obviously another thing.
Oh yeah, gotta throw the buzzword in there.
It's just uncomfy. It was just uncomfy for everyone, and I am just letting you know that as somebody who, you know, as a friend and as somebody who was like, hey, I was kind of the one who was like, hey, can you elaborate on that? I was the one who who in a sense dragged it out because I
Whoa. You did not ask for an elaboration on Jack Diddley Squat, love. You were literally in agreement with her. Okay, you were in complete agreement with her. Like, did we not just watch, like, okay, let me just pick another random clip.
Way to go. That was good for me, guys. Sorry, I was just sitting
And Katie,
back
what do you think?
Bro,
Katie just sitting back. Sorry, Katie.
No, you guys are good. Like, I didn't want to cut anybody off. Like, you guys had a lot of good things to say. I was just sitting here, like, literally reading, like, the thoughts and opinions of my chat. You guys
I mean, there's someone in the chat right now even just saying, like, first step to being a Karen, like, that, you know, stupid stuff like that. And it's like, okay, guys, it's just not helpful. It's not helpful for anybody. It's never helpful.
Yeah.
Like, this is not
Well,
helpful.
she just agreed
okay,
right
but
there
you
and
talked
said,
to them,
yeah.
So, and they're horrible. Did you not hear anything I said?
See, this is what I'm saying. This is the level of performative that every single one of these streamers gets into.
I was like almost a little confused. I wanted to hear more. And so I was the one that was like, hey, my chat is like, you know, I wanted to hear more. And I just don't think that was obviously not something that helped anything. Sorry, I'm reading.
Yeah, get your talking points from chat. Hurry up.
Yeah, so
well, that's that. That was everything that I had there. I feel like intent is where it's important. Not everything needs to be that deep. Yeah, exactly, Law Assassin. Exactly. I completely agree. Not everything has to be that deep. Not everything has to be this whole like, oh my gosh, you're an evil human being because you are totally okay with this happening or something. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that this person, right? This person was wanting just to say, hey, it's okay to have a conversation. There's nothing wrong with having the conversation. What's wrong is not having the conversation. That's the issue. And I think that most people would actually agree that not having the conversation is the bigger issue here, okay? Like, I don't think that there's anybody who would disagree with that who actually has a brain on their head, at least in my personal opinion. I don't think that's something that I'm going to have to get to a Raider key. I don't think that there's anything like that, you know, if you're willing to hear a conversation, you're willing to talk it out. And if at the end of the day, you're still not like, okay with somebody's point of view, then that's the bottom line. That it is what it is, you know? There's nothing you're going to be able to do to change that. There's nothing you're going to be able to do to make somebody feel the same way you do. And at the same time, it's not your job, right? Like, it's really not your job to make anyone feel like okay or happy. It's not your job to make somebody to change a person's mind whatsoever. I don't understand why it is that there's people who actually think that it is their job to do that. I hear her full of shit. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. I hate this belief that just because somebody is like trans or something, that they don't have the ability to fight for themselves. They don't have the ability to argue for themselves, or some person of color. I hate that that belief that, oh, because they see this way or they are this way, we have to protect them. We have to make sure that they never hear somebody say the word troon or dead name or something of that nature. It's, in my personal opinion, that's way more what's even the word for it? That's way more offensive, in my personal opinion, than if somebody was to just simply like say that, you know, that they're not a real girl or a real person or something like that. But that's just me. I don't know. I guess I could be wrong. I'm not trans, so who knows, you know?